my goodness. The question that everyone just wants the answer to. How did I lose 50 pounds? Was it Ozempic? Was it natural? Was it just luck? Like, Nancy, how did you do it? For reference, this is what I used to look like. I was 50 pounds heavier. I was 5'2". Yes, you're pretty in all stages and you're beautiful no matter what. Yep. I get it, but no, just cross the line. So grab a pen and paper because this is gonna get very deep and we're gonna go in detail of exactly everything I did to literally transform my life. First thing is cortisol. Oh, I'm so happy I'm making this YouTube video so I can go much more into detail of how much cortisol affects you. So when I was looking the way I was, okay, my cortisol levels were through the roof. And if you don't know what cortisol is, when your body's under a lot of stress, which we're gonna talk about, it's gonna produce more of the stress hormone. And that is, I really think, especially if you have PCOS, that's the number one thing that is preventing you from weight loss. And just in general, just being a happier person. Sleep. I never really took a step back and realized how little sleep I was getting. Even if I would go to sleep at 12, wake up at 5:30, I wasn't getting the full night's rest of sleep. In general, women just need more sleep. What I started to do, which made the biggest difference, not just for aiding my weight loss, but my skin, you guys, my skin was just doing so much better. My hair loss, my mood, my energy levels. I would try to aim anywhere from 10 to 9 hours. And I know that's a lot. 8 hours is the minimum amount of sleep. That's great for men who are biologically men because they just need less sleep. As women, we need more sleep. And the more I started sleeping, my weight started falling off without me even having to do anything because you're lowering that stress hormone in your body. You're allowing your body to recover. Now you might ask how you're gonna do it. Stop scrolling, stop digital snacking. I literally got rid of my social media. I just knew how much time I was spending on social media. You are providing fake dopamine from that instant stimulation. Once I stopped doing that, I was going to sleep on time. I wasn't worrying about what everyone else in the world is doing. I would just knock right out. Now, when you start sleeping more, your inflammation in your body is gonna go down significantly. So if you wake up with a puffy face, your stomach is always bloated and it's always inflamed, lowering that cortisol hormone is also gonna lower your inflammation. You're not gonna hold on to water as much. And when you lower your inflammation, you're gonna also feel less tired. Sometimes working out, sometimes weight loss feels like a chore, but you're not realizing your body, your temple, you're not taking care of it. When they say weight loss, it's not hard. It's not hard when you have the right vessel to work with. So a lot of what I'm gonna talk about is just what to do, like just prepping your body to make weight loss, fat loss, feeling better about yourself as easy as it can go. Now, when it comes to lowering your cortisol, again, we talked about the sleep, we talked about no digital snack and lowering that inflammation. Trust me, literally your face is gonna light up just because you started sleeping more. Now, another way to reduce that cortisol stress hormone that I really took into consideration is the gym. I stopped going to it. I used to do strict dieting in college. I used to go to the gym 2-3 hours and it was a chore. It was the hardest thing I had to do when I was trying to lose weight because I was under so much stress. Oh God, I hate cortisol. Not only was I stressed about school, but I was trying to prep for a body competition. So I had to literally count every calorie that went into my body, all the workouts I was doing. I was lifting heavy. Because I was lifting heavy, I needed high protein. So I had to track all. Anyways, the point is, it was really stressful. To lose the weight I did, I have not stepped into the gym, you guys, for 2 years. Not only do I have PTSD from going to the gym because I used to be a hardcore gym, like workout girl, counting macros, counting calories, and it's just not something I enjoy doing anymore. Most of it, what I did, focusing a lot on lowering my inflammation in my body, lowering that stress hormone. So I did very list workouts, lightweight workouts, as in walking, yoga, Pilates. There's a reason that a lot of women are shifting to those exercises. And it's not because, you know, they're less effort or less work. It's just about moving your body. Just move your body. It can be anything you want to do. If you still love going to the gym, do that. Now that we talked about the cortisol and what I was kind of doing to just prep my body, number 2 thing, before I even talk about the diet, gut cleansing. If you guys notice, why is weight loss harder for some people than it's not? If you are constantly craving sugar, you're constantly craving salty food. The odd times of the day you want food. Your gut is your second brain. I do gut cleanses almost every other day. I like to take Gayam. It literally will cleanse your entire gut. When your gut is clean, you will realize such a huge difference in just your cravings in general. Forget about the bloating, just your cravings, especially sugar and processed foods. The more your gut is cleansed, the more better you're gonna feel and more in control of your cravings. And that was one of the hardest things for me, because for me, when I gained the weight, I was going through like a depressive period. Like, it was not a good time in my life. We're not gonna talk about it, but I would eat my feelings. That was what I used to do. And because I used to eat all this junk at all odd times, all the other days, I would just crave more and more and more junk. So one thing to get to restart your gut is always do a gut cleanse and then replenish with good probiotics, all the good fiber, eating healthy food. I really like the idea of fasting. I can't do those crazy 72-hour fasts, but that's what they do. The whole reason is it gives your body time to get rid of all of that junk and give your gut a restart. If you've noticed a pattern when people talk about how great they feel when they fast, is your gut is literally getting rid of all of that bad stuff, and it's overcompensating by putting out better cells, getting rid of all the junk. Your body's doing an entire reset. So I promise you, doing a gut cleanse has helped me control my cravings so much more. Now, diet. This is what you guys have been asking me all the time. The past 2 years, I have not eaten out. I have only eaten food at home. I'm vegetarian, by the way. I like to think about it this way. If I was living 500 years ago, hypothetical, okay? If I had access to food, I would not have access to chips. I would not have access to bread. I would not have access to like pasta, just anything that's processed. Now, those aren't bad foods. I just want to make that very clear. Those are not bad foods. You can still lose weight eating those. But for me, it was just so important that I didn't want anything processed in my body at all. Like, I used to make bread homemade. Like, I just didn't want anything processed, because the more processed foods I ate, just imagine anything not made at home to just prolong the shelf life, like the amount of stuff they have to add to it. Well, I love bread and I made homemade bread. If you like pasta, make it homemade. That's how serious I am. Some people call this a raw diet. I wasn't really doing the raw diet, but if it came in a package, I would avoid it. Now, if you're in college, I know this is much harder to do. But now I know some of you guys are gonna be like, I'm in college, because trust me, when I was in college, I could not get out my hands on like fast food. And at the same time, I used to have like credit. I used to get like 20 something dollars a day on my student card, and I had to use it on campus. And then if I wanted anything fresh or healthy, I would have to pay out of my own pocket. My mom was already paying so much. I wasn't gonna do that. So I get it. Just look out for seed oil. Seed oil stores fat. So I would just avoid any food with seed oils or sugars. But you can always get frozen packets of rice, make yourself some rice. Like, look for those types of things and fresh fruits. So I talked about I like eating anything homemade. But now there is science behind this. Ready? Listen to this. It's physics. If you eat less more than you burn, you're gonna lose weight. You can do the craziest workout. You can go to the gym, you can lift, you can go on a 10-mile hike, but you might be like, I still don't lose weight. I'm still inflamed. Nothing is working, because it's physics. If you burn less than you eat, you're going to lose weight. And this is what I need you to do. Ditch the online calculators. Just ditch it. I don't think they're reliable, and I feel like I get stressed out, and I don't want weight loss to be the center of my day, the center of my life. That's just not how I'm a busy girl, okay? Like, I don't have time to do all that. This is a really good way if you're starting out, knowing what can you eat. If you have an Apple Watch, if you go on the fitness app or any Fitbit, you wear it for 24 hours for a week and add the numbers of the amount of calories you're burning, and then find the average. That's how much on daily your body is burning. This is not just your workout. Let's say you do a workout and you burn 500 calories. You are forgetting the whole part where your body is burning calories while you're sleeping, while you're breathing. That's called your basic metabolic rate. Oh my God, I'm too smart for YouTube right now. That's called your basic metabolic rate, because your body, when you digest food to make you breathe, to make your heart pump, your body needs calories. It's gonna burn. So that's gonna require energy as well. My basic metabolic rate throughout the day, if I didn't do anything, like I'm just sleeping all day, I'll burn around like 1,300 calories. But when I do my daily workout, which is just walking, which I'll get to, I will burn roughly 1,700 calories. And if you want to lose weight, you just have to be in a deficit. So you can eat around 1,500 calories or 1400, but you have to look at it for yourself. Like check how much you're burning and just try to eat less, and whatever you're eating, just track the calories. I just would not mess with tracking macros, tracking fat. I didn't do any of that. I used to just track my calories and then that was it. I think I was just more in tune with it because I did gyms and macro counting and everything. I have like a PhD in that stuff. So I was just tired of doing all of that. So I could kind of just check and know exactly what my caloric portions were. So to make sure I was in a deficit, but mostly I wouldn't do it. If you're somebody who doesn't like to track, like you don't even want to do that, I highly recommend intermittent fasting. I love doing intermittent fasting. When I was trying to lose weight, I would stop eating around 6 at night and wouldn't eat the next day until like 1 or 2. So that's what, like a 16-hour intermittent fasting. So I would have a window about 4 or 5 hours where I would eat my actual home cooked meals and everything. And that already puts you at a lower caloric deficit without you count. I intermittent fast sometimes now. I really just like it. It just gives me more energy. But now I don't track my food. I don't track my calories because I'm just used to it. Just try to make it as easy for you as possible. If it's too much work counting calories, do some intermittent fasting. You can eat whatever you want during that time. You can have a huge meal. You can have smaller meals during the hours. However you want to do it, as long as you are eating less than you're burning, you are gonna be just fine. What do I eat? I eat sabji, I eat rotli, I will eat very voluminous foods. I'm tired of salads now, but I used to love eating celery salads, but I'm tired of those now. I love rice and dal. I love khichdi. I will have khichdi with so much ghee on it. Like that's one of my, fruits. I ate so many fruits. I didn't even care about the sugar. I ate so many fruits. Like I would have in the morning, like, or when I'm breaking my fast, I would try to have a lot of pre-probiotics, like all the good stuff. So I would have my turmeric water, antibacterial. It's gonna get rid of all that gut bacteria. But then I would have Greek yogurt. It's filled with whatever. It's filled with good stuff. Then I would have like blueberries, strawberries, and I would add a little bit of water to my Greek yogurt so it's more fluffy and more voluminous. Honey and then granola. I'd be full for a good amount of time. Water, okay? The amount of cravings that went away when I started drinking water is ridiculous. You'd be surprised. Just drink water. And if you say water tastes bad, like something must be wrong. Like we need this to survive. If you think water tastes bad, like stop. Just pick up the bottle and drink it. First thing when I do in the morning is just drink it. Another thing, I stopped having any type of stimulant at all. I was so into having energy drinks and caffeine, and I just stopped having caffeine for an entire year. It is a stimulant. I was dependent on it. I couldn't function throughout my day unless I had caffeine. And just getting rid of it, not only was my skin 10 times better, I would stop having crashes. I think it just made me less lazy and I would have less problems to go on throughout my day, because a lot of the things that hindered my weight loss in the beginning was just being lazy. I just felt tired. I felt overworked. I felt like I was doing too much. Like this was too hard to do. And giving up caffeine and switching it out with tea or matcha made such a significant difference. And especially when it came to my inflammation, you guys, my face literally stopped holding on to inflammation, especially when I woke up. Get rid of all stimulants, your phone, your caffeine, anything that gives you a dopamine hit that's not natural, get rid of it. And now my workouts. What did I do for workouts? Okay, to lose the weight, I used to carry a 20-pound vest and I used to hike 4 or 5 times a week. And I would go for like 4 or 5 mile hikes and with that vest because I love doing it. Being out in the sun, in the nature, gave me such a dopamine hit. It didn't make it boring. I just didn't like going to the gym. Again, I told you, right? I was going to the gym all the time. I was just so bored of it. So doing something different, challenging myself, my dopamine hit was finishing something like a hard hike, finishing it with the vest. That was an accomplishment. That gave me a dopamine hit. Now, I did that for a long amount of time. You can even put on a vest and go for a walk. You don't have to do all these extra crazy things. I'm just a little crazy, like little things like that give me a dopamine hit. But mostly I focused a lot just on moving. Now people are having so much more weight loss issues because our work is sedentary. We sit, we type, we're not moving as much. When before, if you had to get groceries, you had to walk. If you needed food, go get it. Any chore I had to do, anything, just walk. If I want to get some groceries, I'd walk 3 miles, grab some groceries, put in a backpack, walk back. If I wanted to get my nails done, I would walk. If I wanted to go to Ulta, I would walk. Granted, everything was within like a 5-mile radius, so I would walk 5 miles or come back another 5 miles, and I would do all those chores during the weekend when I had time, listen to a podcast and just do it. But it allowed me to go outside my house, which really helped me just with my mental health and made everything much more enjoyable to me. I have a whole Bollywood playlist. Like I would just listen, even if I'm not sad, I would walk. I enjoyed every single walk I did. I just hated going to the gym, so that was my way, getting my steps in. If I wanted to change it up, I love hot yoga as well. Going to the sauna after every single walk, I would go to the sauna. I think that had helped me so much. Anything toxic in my body, I felt like it would just flush it out. And because I was doing all these things, I was walking, I would stand and type, I would just make sure my body was moving all the time, I would fall asleep easier. So if you're having trouble falling asleep, ask yourself, what did you do all day? Like if you physically can't fall asleep and you don't have your phone on you, your phone is far away and you're in bed and you can't sleep, ask yourself if you have any movement throughout the day. Because I know for myself, if I don't get movement throughout the day, not only do I crave all this junk, but then also I can't sleep. So sometimes maybe that which just might be a problem. Now, this is the proest tip. I said all these things, but it's gonna be 10 times harder for you if you are anxious like I am, if you're sensitive, if you're emotional. You make bad decisions when it comes to your body, when it comes to the choices of food, your sleep, because you get triggered. I get it. I completely get it. Anything that goes wrong, I would turn to food. It's been 2 years and I'm still working on it. But if it's a him that's like causing all this, get rid of it. Even when it came to friends, if they were making decisions, like I always used to have severe FOMO, I just stopped going out with them. I think that was one of the hardest things. I don't drink anymore. It's been 2 years since I don't drink. I love it. It's helped me achieve my goals. It's helped lower my cortisol, my inflammation. And also, I wouldn't have a social media and I wouldn't have been where I am today if I didn't have this time to do it, right? And so I think that was one of the best decisions I've made, because the more I'm away from everyone, the less triggers I'm going to have and the more time I can spend on actually fixing it. I have PCOS. I've went to so many doctors because I was like, my hormones are off. This is bad. Every doctor would be like, you're fine. You are fine. And so I went to a hormone specialist. I got actual tests done to check if I had PCOS, and I did. I was diagnosed with PCOS. And everything that I'm talking about, this is the advice that they told me. It's very hard to just get rid of it, but you're keeping it under complete control. It's gonna be so much easier for you. And that's why I spent a lot of this video talking about like just controlling your hormones. And she mentioned this one thing, and that's why I wanna reiterate the point of eating non-packaged processed foods, because here, I cannot tell you, for example, Doritos chips, the ingredients in the UK for Doritos chips versus US allows so much more junk than UK does. For example, do you ever see those videos of people going on trips to Europe and they're like, I eat everything and I still haven't gained weight? Number one, it's the ingredients that they use there. Also in Europe, you're not driving around, you're walking everywhere. Now I just want to hit on the point of Ozempic. No, I am not on it. There's a lot of science behind Ozempic and why a lot of people choose to go on it. And it's because essentially what it does, again, there's a lot behind it. I'm not a doctor. I coulda, woulda, shoulda. I would have been a doctor, but I changed career path. Anyways, essentially it really helps your body understand and your brain, like it helps connect them two. And it makes you stop, like, I'm not hungry. You take a couple bites and you're like, oh, I'm not hungry. Not exactly, but that's how your body is working, right? Like when people are on Ozempic, you basically learn your hunger cues. You don't crave food. The food isn't there. You just don't crave the food. And when you do crave it, it's because you're hungry. Like your body's telling you you should eat it. Do I think people should be on Ozempic? No. There's not a lot of science behind it. And you are strong enough. And if you do everything that I talked about, learn how to figure out your hunger cues yourself. And a lot of the people who are going on Ozempic and then they get off within a year, they have learned how to manage those hunger cues. I truly believe, and 100%, you should be able to do it naturally. You have that capacity. Believe you can do it, because it is possible, because I'm in the same state right now where I can understand my body cues. If there's a cake out there, I'll sniff it, I'll scratch it, but if I know I'm not hungry and I have goals, like I'm not gonna eat it. But everyone's gonna end up making their choice. And I know a lot of you girls, guys are like under 30, under 25, and if you're under 20 watching this, when I was like 18, 19, I wanted to get lipo, I wanted the BBL, I wanted my nose done, I wanted someone to figure out eyebrow transplants because there's so many things that I wanted to do. And as I'm getting older, not only am I scared to go into the night, overnight. But I figured out a way how I could do it myself naturally, and I felt so much in love with my body and its capabilities. If you know how to take care of it right, and if you're constantly obsessing over just the weight loss part, it's gonna become much harder. And I really hope that this whole video, when I was talking, that's not what you got out of it. I really wanted this video to be about how can you become in control of your body again, get that toxic stuff out of your gunk in your body, how you can let go of your toxic surroundings and truly just focus on yourself. Not only will this help, well, this video is about weight loss. Yes, that's gonna be a given, but just remember, it's not gonna happen overnight. I used to just give up when I didn't see results, and I think when people say ditch the scale, like just really just do it, I wouldn't even look at it until you're like 3 months in. Then you can take a look at it. And I really hope this was helpful. If there's anything I missed, because I know I was kind of rambling, and I also know that I'm gonna remember 1,000 other things after I finish this video. You guys can leave me comments and ask me questions. Okay, I can make a part 2 talking about all those other things. Oh my God, I'm about to do it. Oh my God, okay. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Am I a YouTuber now? I don't know. I know I ramble, and I probably missed the points I wanted to hit, so put everything in the description so you can read it for those who like notes and everything. And I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry, this is my first YouTube video. Toodaloo!